Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Monday. Means we're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Good to be back. Appreciate Taylor Sharp and the crew for holding things down last week while we were away on a little bit of a vacation. It was a ton of fun. We had a great time, played a little golf, got a little sun, had a few drinks, ate some good food. And we're home and ready to get back to work here for a couple weeks, and we'll head off to SEC Media Days in Tampa. And that really, for us professionally, maybe not for a lot of people as fans, but for us professionally, really kickstarts the next school year there at the end of July, or that point where the Saints are starting camp, and LSU will be a week away at that point. So there are 2 more weeks of a little bit of a malaise before we're really full steam ahead, but glad to be back for this one. We'll get ready for the MLB draft coming up this weekend. That'll be very, very impactful for the LSU baseball program, so we'll talk about that as the week progresses. And then there's obviously some World Cup to talk about. Chris Lowe ranked the SEC quarterbacks 4 on 3. There was a list on ESPN of the best college football players of all time by jersey numbers. I went through them for LSU guys, LSU runners-up, and players that I've seen in person. Get into a little bit of that. Maybe do a little stock up, stock down, vacation style in the second hour as well. And I promise you this, I mentioned the World Cup. Y'all know I'm not a soccer guy. I won't proclaim to be a soccer guy. I don't really know a lot about soccer. I can't name one guy on our soccer team, I don't think, even though there's one guy that's in the news because he's being reinstated. But I don't know what his name is. Can't spell it. Don't know it. Balogun, yeah, that's my guy. So I don't know anything about soccer, but I did watch like 2.5 games over the weekend. Did not watch any while we were at the beach. Like, that was not going to happen. But 2.5 games over the weekend. I have a soccer segment from a non-soccer guy with some good. There is some good. I like some of this stuff. I'm not like 100% hater, but I've also got some bad, and I want to get to that too. So we'll do some of that coming up in about 30 minutes. But we're going to start with a little bit of the news from the end of last week that I obviously wasn't here for. I wrote about it at LouisianaSports.net, but I do want to talk about it as we enter the week. So let's get started with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
So before I left on vacation, I checked in with LSU baseball and just to kind of see where they were in the portal process. And I knew that they were still courting pitching because you always need pitching, and LSU was a little bit short in the pitching department this past year. I think that's putting it lightly. And I asked source inside the program, I said, are y'all still looking for some offense? Because you could see a scenario where they kind of had their first 9, right? And this is what I was told from a source inside the program, if it's the perfect fit. And then I got the indication that there was someone out there that they were looking at, and the term world tour was used. Like, this person's going to make some visits. We'll see what we can do. So I didn't get a name on it. That's a little bit closer to the vest. But I knew that there was a search out there, that there was a big fish possible. And you saw one at the end of the week with Angel Lyle. This is a potentially very, very impactful player. And every time I say that, I go back to this time last year where we were saying that about some guys that were not. And I realized that. And trust me, y'all, like I professionally took this past season very seriously. Because for me to write and talk about that baseball team as glowingly as I did, like everyone else did, but I'm not in control of what Baseball America does or what they write at the Advocate or talk about on Channel 2 or talk about on YouTube. Like I'm not in charge of any of that stuff. I'm in charge of what I do. And for me to tell you how great that team was and how good those transfers were going to be and all, like, I'm going to use that the next time around and be a little bit guarded. So I'm not here to tell you that they just got the next Matt Clark, left-handed hitting 6'3" guy that hits at 500 feet. But I'm here to tell you this is potentially very impactful for next year's team. This is a mega talent, and that's something I continue to go back to with these transfer additions. Because as I said last week, as I said 2 weeks ago, as I said 3 weeks ago, the transfers that LSU brought in last year did not have big-time draft grades. But because of the success that LSU had with Tommy White, with Michael Braswell, with Chris Stanfield, with Daniel Dickinson, with Luis Hernandez, with guys from all different backgrounds, all different levels of college baseball, all different profiles, and LSU's just plugged them in, and boom, there they go. Gage Jump, coming off injury, doesn't matter. Boom. Paul Skeens, Air Force, comes in, boom. Luke Holman, SEC starter, comes in, boom. Like, it just, they had such a high hit rate that I just kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt. Like, no, yeah, they like it. It's good. But those guys were not big draft prospects. You look at the transfers LSU's brought in this class, and they are big draft prospects. Bino Waters is a big-time draft prospect. Dawson Park is a legitimate draft prospect. And Angel Leia comes in as a legitimate draft prospect. This is a 6'3" left-handed bat who is going to be mocked in the way too early mock drafts for next year, or on the way too early big boards for next year and 2 years, is going to be looked at as a guy who could be a first-round pick. Now, that doesn't mean he will be a first-round pick, but he could be a first-round pick. You look at the numbers from Oregon this past year, 296, 14 home runs, 10 doubles, an OPS of 934, stole 4 bases, and has a monster arm in right field and is a good athlete. And if you consider the jump that players often make from year 1 to year 2 in college, and you consider a 6'3" frame that has plenty of room to add weight, and you consider LSU's infrastructure and their resources offensively that allowed really draftable prospects to blossom, like Tommy White, like Jake Brown, like Derek Curiel, like Jared Jones, like these guys have blossomed into elite players in this offensive system. This is a guy that could become one of the most feared hitters in the SEC. He has that potential. I mentioned earlier next year's draft. You're looking at the 2028 draft, 2 years from now, because he just finished his freshman year. He is, if I'm looking to project this based on him developing it as a sophomore, based on his exit velocities, his swing mechanics, what he looks like, plus allotting for an adjustment to Southeastern Conference pitching from the Big Ten, which is not nearly as good, I'm looking at a guy that I believe will be about a 300 hitter, that will probably strike out some, that will hit 15 home runs, and that will be a huge slugging threat between the number 2 and 6 holes in LSU's order. I think he's got a chance to be a star at LSU with those kind of tools. And I looked at what it could mean for a potential lineup for LSU, and keep in mind, this is vastly premature, but it just gives you a visual of this. I've got Wax at the leadoff spot and playing center field. I've got Aaron Beatty in the 2-hole, Waters in the 3-hole, Cerna in the 4-hole, so that's left, right. Then I've got Laya right there in the 5-hole between Omar Cerna and Stephen Milam. Mason Braun, Cade Curlin, and Dawson Park at the back end of the lineup. That is a force of a lineup when you consider some production at the college level already, but also draftability. Where you look at Wax, Aaron Beatty, Waters, Cerna, Laya, Milam, all those guys are guys that you would consider top 4 or 5 round guys. Doesn't mean they have to be, but you would consider them that. Braun, we'll see. He's positionless on defense and hasn't hit for the power yet. He's not tall either. Curland is not, but he's been an SEC high floor player. He's started at Florida for 3 years. And then Park is pretty draftable down there at the 9 spot for me. That's a legitimate lineup there that I think has been put together wonderfully. Candidly, I still have real concerns about LSU's pitching. I think that they have landed a really big fish from Gonzaga. I think getting Landon Hood to Baton Rouge is a big deal. And there is no question talent returning to that team, and we'll see what the draft holds this weekend. I'm going to do some more research on that from LSU's perspective. I'm going to write about that at LouisianaSports.net, and then we'll see how the draft plays out. To me, this is a championship caliber offense. It looks that way to me. I don't believe in its current state that LSU has championship level pitching right now. That's not to say that it won't become that. I sat here and badmouthed Oklahoma all May long, and they won. So that I'm aware of that. But I also cover LSU a little differently than Oklahoma and would rather have some more concrete evidence of high-level pitching in the program than go off, yeah, he wasn't that great last year, but he could be awesome. That part is that part. But as I look at LSU's roster right now, and you look at the transfer portal additions of Wax, Waters, Laya, Kurland, and Park, that's more than half of your offense for next year, very likely. And I think that's going to be a really, really impactful lineup. William Patrick will get his chance. And keep in mind, I wrote this over at LouisianaSports.net. He suffered a hand injury out in Healdsburg in the Pacific Empire League. So he's going to be down for the rest of the summer. That's a huge bummer for him. This is going to be a chance for him to get a ton of at-bats, and he was only really able to play for 3 weeks. But he'll be ready for fall ball, I'm told, and so we'll see how that shakes out. Jack Ruckert is going to be back, and that's a guy that is a capable defender who can compete for playing time, but you're going to have to deal with guys with more skins on the wall than you. Dawson Park and Cade Kurland have more skins on the wall than you on the infield. You got John Pearson there as well, who showed some pop this past year. And you've got some guys in there that create some depth. And we'll see kind of what the future holds for Eddie Yaman, who is playing well on Cape Cod right now, but did go through senior day. And I've kind of written him off as not going to be part of the program. I'll check on that as you get ready for the draft. There's a numbers issue that's going to have to be worked out for LSU here. But it's this is a big fit. And when you consider that the term perfect fit was tossed out to me before they got Laya in the boat, that's what this staff thinks of him and trust their words over mine. That's what they do for a living. I'm just here to talk about it. So it's really exciting to see what they've done with this offense in the portal with draftable players, and this was kind of the cherry on top of the offense that I believe to be done at this point. They will love to get a couple of players through this MLB draft from a freshman perspective and add them into the program and see if you can't get one or two to pop like Curiel did, like Stephen Milam did, like Omar Cerna did, like Mason Braun did. That's the type of player you attract at LSU. And you got Nate Davis to issue the draft. We'll talk about him a little bit later on in the show. But this is an awesome looking lineup on paper, and I anticipate it'll perform like that for the majority of next season. And Jay Johnson's teams have always hit. The team that was his first team wasn't great. They hit. The team that he just had was bad by LSU standards, and they did hit. You just got to have a little bit of a question mark off to the side about what LSU is going to be from a pitching perspective. So we'll see. I'll talk about it in hour number 2. All right, we're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions every single Monday. Hope your work week's off to a good start. When we come back, Chris Lowe ranked the SEC quarterbacks. Where's Sam Levitt come in that picture? We'll talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Look, if you're an athlete, a weekend warrior, even parents on the sideline, this heat can sneak up on you. It probably won't. You'll probably notice it right when you walk out the door, but it can be sneaky in terms of how quickly it can start affecting your body. Hydration is just so important, not just in the summer, but year-round. You got to stay hydrated. That's essential for the overall health and performance when you're being active, especially outdoors. It plays a key role in how your body functions every single day. It can help support your energy, focus, recovery. In under an hour outside, drink 1 cup of water every 15 minutes. That can help you avoid peak heat hours if possible. If you're out longer than an hour, add some electrolytes to your drink. Aim for 2-to-1 water to sports drink ratio, so more water, get some electrolytes when you can. These are all great tips to keep you healthy and safe out there in these brutal summer months. That's all courtesy of our friends at Oxnard, courtesy of our friends over at Oxnard.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day.
Let's go!
But the real work happens in the off season.
Spring practices, early lifts,
Extra reps.
And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
so we can do what we do best.
We trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here. I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Hey everybody, Drew Brees here. Over the years, I've learned that the best teams are built on trust, preparation, and doing things the right way. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to announce that the Breeze Dream Foundation and I are partnering with Parish Construction and Roofing. Together, we are committed to helping families prepare for hurricane season. That's why Parish Construction and Roofing, the Breeze Dream Foundation, and WAFB are partnering to provide one capital area family with a brand new fortified roof. Visit WAFB.com/contest to enter the giveaway and view official rules and eligibility requirements. Because stronger homes build stronger communities.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU Sports.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Every day we're brought to you by our friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC, online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com. We, of course, just loaded up the crew to head over to the beach. If you're looking to do something similar and like a new ride, they can get you covered over there at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Great deals and offers on Chevy Tahoes and Silverados. Got the GMC Sierras and Yukons as well. Maybe you want to get behind the wheel of the big old truck. They've got you covered with the GMC Sierras as well as the they have plenty on the lot over there at Fabry Chevrolet GMC, including the Silverados, of course. So go by and see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. The entire inventory is online as well at FabryChevrolet.com. So you can start your buying process right there at FabryChevrolet.com. All right, Chris Lowe just put out a primer looking towards SEC Media Days in a couple of weeks, and he ranked the SEC quarterbacks 1 to 10, and got a lot of respect for Chris. He's covered the league for a long time, has great relationships with a lot of the coaches in people throughout the league. And so just taking a look at what he wanted to do, there are time and place for lists, and this is certainly one of those. And I wanted to see where he put Sam Leavitt on the list. So you start to roll through, and Trinidad Chambliss is at 1, and I don't have a huge problem with that. He had a phenomenal season. Arch Manning is number 2. I certainly don't have a problem with that as well. Interesting at 3, not where I would have gone immediately. I may not have watched enough last year. I told y'all all the time, I don't see as much SEC football as maybe some of you do because my work responsibilities cover a lot of the day on Saturdays. So Gunnar Stockton at 3 surprised me just a little bit because I just didn't think of him as having a monster year last year. They had a good year, and I certainly watched him play in person in the Sugar Bowl, but I just didn't have him as a top 3 quarterback in the SEC. John Mateer comes in at number 4. He was off to such a good start last year, then the injury happened. That's going to be kind of the discussion about him. He had that nasty hand injury and then came back probably a little bit too soon. There's blood all over the uniform, and there was some really non-productive days. The Oklahoma offense that I watched was really bad last year in Norman. Their defense was just so good, and LSU had no chance to score. But Mateer comes in at 4, and then there's Sam Leavitt at number 5. And I don't have a huge problem with that. I'll tell you why. Leavitt did some really good things at Arizona State, including go 16-4 as a starter. Obviously, he's very athletic. Obviously, he's made some big throws. He's made a lot of big plays. He's won some big games, played well against Texas Tech, played poorly against Mississippi State. You've seen the numbers. You've seen the ups. You've seen the downs. If he's healthy, I look at Sam Leavitt, and I say, what would be the detraction from Leavitt's game that would not allow him to play at the level that really all of Kiffin's quarterbacks play at? Chambliss played great out of nowhere. He didn't even have a spring, and he was awesome. I think you had really good quarterback play from Jackson Dart. I thought Matt Corral played great at quarterback. And while, yes, you've seen some professional success from Dart, it's not like this is Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl in year 2. It's not like you're talking about a guy who won Rookie of the Year. It's not like you're talking about a guy that's got some physical skill set that is just not replicable. It's not Michael Vick or Cam Newton out there. These are just average size, average arm, quality athletes that have gotten into that system and have produced year over year over year. And yes, some of them have Quinshawn Judkins, and yes, some of them have Kejuan Lacey, and some of them have Trey Harris, and some of them have there are playmakers around them, but it's not like anything that Kiffin had at Ole Miss you would look at and go, yeah, well, Leavitt doesn't have that. He's got talent at wide receiver around him. They brought in a potential first-rounder at left tackle to protect his blind side. He's got a fourth-year starter center. You've got capable running backs and the same play caller in Charlie Weiss Jr. I just feel like, and I talked about this with Blake Baker's defense yesterday, when you look at the S&P Plus numbers and you look at what that defense could look like and you realize that you trust the coaching staff to elevate it, well, I feel the same way about this with Kiffin and Leavitt. I just feel like you're going to get a bump here because he's got everything in the toolbox that you're going to need. If he gets closer to second or third on this list, well, all of a sudden, you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC on one of the more talented rosters in the SEC, and you could have a pretty special season. I'm struggling with where to be overly skeptical on Leavitt outside of basically 2 things. One, is he still hurt? I have no reason to believe he's hurt. Lane Kiffin said on Tired's podcast that he was running 21 miles an hour. And then I heard that from someone inside the program that Leavitt was out with the team in the off-season activities, running around the field, throwing the football, participating fully. At that point, it was June. It's now July. You have 2 months before he plays his first game. I don't think that health is a huge concern right now. The other is the performances against Mississippi State. Those were bad performances. But quarterbacks are allowed to have bad performances. You can't have a lot of them, and he probably doesn't need to have many this year. But I don't think that's an indictment on him for the rest of his collegiate career that he had a couple of Saturdays where he just wasn't very good. And, oh, by the way, they won one of those games. So they've got Leavitt ranked ahead of Lenora Sellers, and we know what he did early on in his career. They got him ahead of Marcel Reed, who had a team primed to make the playoff last year that did get in, and I understand they were terrible on offense in Austin. They were terrible on offense against Miami. But Marcel Reed has done some really good things, and they've got Leavitt ranked in front of him. Byron Brown is very, very accomplished at a lower level at USF, but they've got him in there at number 8. Kamario Taylor, big-time talent from Mississippi State, comes in at 9. Kenny Minchie from Kentucky comes in at 10. Now, keep in mind, this is the point in the article. I'll just go through it in my head with you. I realized at 10 that I had gotten to an Alabama quarterback yet, and I just got to Kentucky, which felt odd, felt real odd for me to go through a top 10 SEC quarterback and not have Alabama's quarterback on the list. And I realized they don't know who their quarterback is. There is a competition. You've got a transplant from Washington that you had brought in for Kalen DeBoer, and you've got a former 5-star. And those two guys are going to duel that. And we'll see. I think Keelan Russell's going to win that job, but I don't know. But that's just a team and a program that you just always expected to have the next guy at every position, and they just don't in this instance. And you've got Kentucky and Mississippi State on this list. By the way, Florida, not on the list. Missouri, not on the list. So it's a situation where if I'm comparing LSU to the rest of the league, I feel like at this point you've got a quarterback that should be able to allow you to compete when you pair him with all those tools around him and that coaching staff that has done so much with quarterbacks who have some similar characteristics. I wouldn't suggest that Matt Corral and Sam Leavitt are identical twins or that Trinidad Chambliss and Sam Leavitt are exactly the same. But you do kind of get the comparison. None of them are 6'5" or 6'6". None of them are 5'9". None of them have Jamarcus Russell or Zach Mettenberger's arm. None of them completely rely on their feet. All of them are capable of using their feet. I feel like you've got a skill set you can really use. He took care of the ball late in his Arizona State time there. He made plays on the ground, made plays through the air. Yeah, he had Jordan Tyson at one point, but he's going to have talented receivers here. I feel good about LSU's quarterback entering fall camp. I did last year too, when he got hurt and they couldn't throw the ball at all. But I look at that and I like the fact that this is something that's coming out of beyond our purple and gold bubble. I talk about that all the time. It's a situation where we live in a bubble, and when you get an opinion from outside of it, it can oftentimes lend a different perspective. I like this one, and I think Sam Leavitt is going to be a really good player for LSU this year, and I think he's set up for success, assuming he's healthy, which I have every reason to believe that he is. And we'll see what Lane Kiffin has to say about that in Tampa in a couple of weeks. If you're looking for LSU football content, you can find it at Hunt on LSU on YouTube, wherever you find your podcasts as well. We've got an in-depth chart series going right now. Did the entire offense. We've knocked out the defensive line thus far. Did edge rushers today. Defensive tackles was yesterday. So if you're looking for that LSU football fix and you'd like to check that out at LouisianaSports.net for free, you can certainly do that. Chugging along here on a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. All right, a soccer segment is coming from the non-soccer guy. I will make no attempt to break down games. I'm just going to give you what the guy who never watches soccer ever has noticed in this World Cup. Some of it's good, some of it not good. Talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. Been trusted here in South Louisiana for 116 years. 116 years. If you do something for that long, you know what you're doing. They've grown to 25 locations. There's always one near you in Southeast Louisiana, whether you're in Lafourche Parish, Terrebonne, over in Hammond, or over in St. Tammany. Maybe you're at Jones Creek or Dutchtown. Maybe you're in Metairie. Anywhere in Southeast Louisiana, there's a First American Bank and Trust right there as a community partner of yours. You're looking for a commercial loan, First American Bank and Trust. Looking for a personal loan, First American Bank and Trust. Bank local with the group that's been here since 1910. That's First American Bank and Trust.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
It's hot out there, y'all. It's going to be hot out there for a couple of months. So if you're looking to practice some baseball, practice some softball, don't want to do it in the brutal heat and humidity, go inside of Marucci, into the Hitter's House. Become a member at the Hitter's House. You can get in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, take some swings, get some pitching done, work on your game, beat the heat. That's the best thing about it. So be a member over at Marucci. Get that key card access so you can work on your game 24/7. Whether you got a youth baseball player or a youth softball player, let them use it whenever they possibly can. And also remind you can go take tours and learn how they became the official bat of Major League Baseball over there at Marucci. They're proud to offer you a tour, and that tour is going to get you discounts in the Hitter's House as well. So go by and see them all there at Marucci. All right, y'all, I think are aware. Like, I'm not a soccer fan. I'm not going to watch the Premier League. I did not play the game at a high level. The end of my soccer career as a youth was that we went down to Lafayette for a tournament. We're the Shreveport team, and one of the kids kicked a corner kick and curved it in the goal. I was like, well, I'm back to basketball, baseball, and football. Like, we're done with soccer here. So I never was good at it. Like, it's just not my thing, and that's okay. But I'm coming at it from that perspective. I can't name any of the players. I got Messi for you. Neymar was a name I remembered. He was out there yesterday.
Yeah. Mbappe from France?
I had heard of him, but I didn't know it was from France. I can probably name like 6 guys in the World Cup. I can't name a single player on the Team USA. I haven't watched the USA kick a ball yet. Wow. It's just not. I didn't make time for it. I was at the beach for a lot of it. It's just not my thing. But I don't hate it. I just don't care about it. I'm happy for people that do like it. And so there, I think, are some good things about the World Cup. And I did take the time over the weekend. I watched a lot of England and Mexico. I watched a lot of Brazil and Norway. And I watched a little bit of France, Paraguay. Okay. So I've watched like 2.5 games. And I have some takes from the non-soccer guy on the World Cup. And I want to start with the good, because I don't want to be the guy who just comes on and just starts bitching and complaining that I hate soccer and this all sucks. There's some of the stuff I don't like, and I'll get to it, but I'll start with the good stuff. The crowds in the city invasions are outstanding. Having massive swaths of proud country folks coming into New York and Philly and Seattle and Mexico City and Miami and Houston, like, that is really cool. The face paint, the chants. I was watching USA singing Country Roads. I've seen that stuff on video, but I watched the England game. They're singing Wonderwall with the fans. Yeah. That was great stuff. Yeah. I love that. So that, I think, is fantastic. I think, to add on to that, the American pride that I have seen on social media, where there is no pride whatsoever in America on social media for 99% of it. It's just everyone bitching back and forth about how much they hate everything and everyone and every other opinion, and now everybody's just fired up to watch them kick a ball in a net.
Yep.
I think that's great. I'll take that all day long. I thought the England-Mexico game was awesome to watch.
Classic.
There was drama. There were goals. There was action. I thought that there was hard play. I thought the environment was great. I liked the whole thing there. I thought Brazil and Norway was awesome. That dude that had the 2 goals for Norway, that guy's incredible.
Holland.
It's just incredible stuff. Thought that was fantastic. And the last thing here is I haven't watched any of it. I don't even know if they're still in the tournament, honestly. I think they are. But Messi scoring a lot of goals early in the tournament, that's great. He's potentially the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
For him to still show up, be a star, I have respect for that, and I have admiration for that, and I think that's a great, great thing. That's a lot. There's a lot of positive here of the World Cup, and I am pro World Cup. I'm probably going to watch tonight, I'm still never going to watch the Premier League on Saturday morning. I'm not watching Man City and Liverpool or something. That's not going to happen. But I'll probably watch tonight. I think it's great. I hope Team USA kicks ass tonight. I think that'd be awesome. Here's some bad, and this was going to be so much a worse segment if I had done what I thought I was going to do. If I had just watched France-Paraguay,
you'd have been let down.
and then turned it off and then came in here today, I would have said all of you who are watching this need to be put in an asylum because this is the stupidest thing I've ever watched in my life. That game that I watched was an embarrassment to competition at all levels. All I saw for the entirety of that game was people determining where they could fall down to gain an advantage in the game.
Yeah.
Foul, foul, foul. These guys who were probably 6'1", 200 pounds, they get tapped on the knee, and it looks like they got shot in war. And not only do they fall down, they're grabbing their knee and screaming in agony. When everyone can watch the replay and go, you just barely got tapped. And they're just falling down, and then they get up and they're yelling at the ref. We're playing soccer over here, and this guy's just crying to the ref. It was just an abomination. And the thing I do not like about this sport that I just can't shake free from is that if you fall down in the right spot, which he fell down in the penalty area, you get a free goal. It's a free goal. It's a free goal. It's almost impossible to score a goal in this sport.
The PKs? Yeah.
And you get a free goal. That drives me nuts. And the guy, if they just need to have one meeting. And trust me, I've watched LeBron play basketball. I've watched Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play basketball. I know that things happen on football with wide receivers selling calls and stuff. This is not just a soccer thing, but it is out of control in some of these games I watch. And you just sit down and say, if you do this, and we go back to this VAR, which we have, you're out. I realize they have flopping and taking a dive and all that kind of stuff, but it's out of control. That game was unwatchable. They continued to fall down for no reason.
Can I just give some context on that game? So I'm happy you watched the real games last night.
I'm glad I watched more.
So the Paraguay-France thing, to add into context for people that don't understand the World Cup, Paraguay, let's just say, that's like when Nickel State played LSU. So you have France is the LSU. They are the supreme power. They're the best team in the world right now. Even though Argentina just won the last World Cup, France got the All-Stars. They're the All-Star team. So Paraguay, they were playing this tactic called park the bus. We're just gonna play defense. We're just trying to make it grimy, nasty, because if we get into an actual skill competition with France, we're gonna get embarrassed out here. Mm-hmm. So putting it in perspective of Nickel State trying to run the clock out on LSU, all right, we're just trying to make it grimy. We're just trying to get up out of here. So that's why it was nasty like that. So that's why.
But I understand that. I understand that concept of running clock and kicking the ball out of bounds and falling down and all that kind of stuff. But it just, I know that these are strong, young, healthy dudes that are just going down in a heap.
Yeah.
And that's rewarded in a lot of senses. And France won the game because a guy went down. And look, they said on the thing that's a foul. But it shouldn't be, because he wasn't going to score, and he shouldn't have been. He should have held his ground. I watch football for a living. These guys can stand up when they get crushed going over the middle. It's just that part drove me nuts. And to compound this, it's a soft culture that we have in this sport. It starts with that stuff, but then it goes to the constant complaining to the officials. It goes to Neymar kicking a PK in when they're getting their butts kicked and then going to yell at the goalie. That is soft Charmin stuff. Canada's coach said they were better than Morocco after they lost 3-0. Brother, that in football is like 63-3.
Yeah.
You were not better. You were way worse. You were embarrassed on that field. That's awful.
At home.
And then Belgium's entire handling of this thing is soft as Charmin. It's so I understand the entirety of the situation. I will admit I don't understand the rule. I don't know what constitutes a red card and what doesn't. That didn't look like a flagrant act to me.
It wasn't.
Certainly wouldn't be in football or
it's like a targeting.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah. It would not be in football. It would not be in basketball. Contact way worse than that goes free. And I realize football is a contact sport with pads, but it's what we got here. But it didn't feel like he maliciously tried to injure somebody.
He didn't.
So it felt like, okay, they give a red card and he's out for the next game, and then they said, well, that's not good. There's appeals processes in every sport we have over here. So that's what if you throw at somebody's head in baseball, we can appeal that. Now, you lose most of the time, and I think that's what they're upset about. There are appeals, but they're never overturned. But, if you take yourself seriously, you don't need to be complaining before a game even starts. And it's just soft. And look, we talked about this before the World Cup. I was listening to Hanny. Hanny said, we don't have a single top 100 player in the world. What the hell are you afraid of? This guy's not one of the 100 best players in the tournament, and now you're scared because he might play? It's soft. Everybody's soft. I realize that I'm the guy sitting in the air conditioning, 40 pounds overweight, that's never played a soccer game in his life, saying that everybody's soft, but I'm watching this. You're complaining about everything. You're falling down all the time. We're bitching, complaining, moaning. The whole thing is just soft to me. And I like that. I love the pageantry. I love the good action, which we saw last night. There's a lot of good on this. But the culture of soccer is soft.
Now, Belgium, okay, if it wasn't my team, if it wasn't America, I would probably be upset too, because it is crazy that they're doing this. It's like, I don't think this has ever happened. They're taking a red card away from the World Cup. And the thing is, they're not saying he didn't do it. They're like, oh, he did it. He's not suspended though. So that's why it's like, I get it. If it wasn't my team. Now, if it's America, hey, man, look, it's our country on U.S. soil. Tell Trump put the call in. Trump put the call in. I can't tell you.
That's the other thing
that's what
going to nuke Twitter is when Trump gets involved. Then you got all these people from America like, oh, I'm pulling for the other team now. Trump made I can't deal with it.
So I get it. It's bad optics, but look, if we win tonight, I don't care what happens. Look, winner, chicken dinner. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was. I thought yesterday was really good. I enjoyed the soccer that I was able to watch when. Maybe it was game. Yeah, maybe it was because Blippi and we got a new one, Fire Buds, wasn't on my TV. Yeah, they're Fire Buddies. Fire Buds is the name of it. That's taken over my TV, but it's taken over Danny Go-Go, which was the worst of them all. So
no more Danny Go-Go. No, Fire Buds is in.
Fire Buds is in. All right, that's it for soccer on this edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We will we'll continue on, close out the hour. Still plenty to do over the next hour and 15 minutes or so. I've got a list of the best college football players of all time by jersey number, and LSU is included in that. When we close out the hour next, we'll talk a little bit about LSU and the baseball editions that they got, one from the high school ranks, one from the transfer portal ranks. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. I mentioned beating the heat for baseball and softball. You can beat the heat for golf, too. So it's warm out there. Maybe you don't want to go out there after work and play. Maybe you don't want to go out there on Saturday afternoon and play, but you'd like to get some swings in, keep your game sharp. Do it at Swing Easy on the simulator. The technology is phenomenal. You can see your trajectory of your shots. You can see your ball speed. You can see your club head speed. You can see where your club face impacts a golf ball. You can see how much you hook or fade the ball. It's all really, really accurate. And if you want to work on your game in that way with those metrics, you can do it. If none of that means at all anything to you and you just rather go play Pebble Beach on the simulator, well, go do that. You can certainly do it over at Swing Easy Golf Club. You can also become a member. They got corporate memberships available, so you can spend some time with clients there, or just get a personal membership so you can pop in before work or during your lunch break and stay out of the heat. At Swing Easy Golf Club on Segan at Perkins. SwingEasyGCBR.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding health care forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
They're guiding healthcare forward over there at Guarantee Health Solutions. You can find them at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. They bring you our Monday shows. Rachel Fricke does such an awesome job with our team here at Guarantee Health Solutions. And it's born out of personal experience. Her mom was diagnosed with cancer just about a decade and a half ago, and Rachel was there every step of the way in the healthcare system and just noticed how impersonal it was, how uncomfortable and unpleasant it was at times. And she comes from a hotel background in hospitality, and she thought, I could take a hospitality aspect to this and really make a difference. And they have at Guarantee Health Solutions. So if you're in the healthcare space, whether you've got an urgent care, you've got private practice, a dental office, hospital, and you haven't given consideration to your patient's journey, whether that starts on your website, have you made that as accessible as possible? Have you made that as user-friendly as possible? How many clicks to care for you? And to when they walk in the door and how they're greeted, how they're guided through that appointment, whether or not they're given instructions when and where to come back. Do they make those follow-up appointments? All those are things that the folks at Guarantee Health Solutions are happy to help you with. They can help you with marketing. They can help you with finding a location. They can help you with digital advertising. They can help you with your website. All there to make sure that your patient experience is the best it can possibly be. They've elevated Net Promoter Scores significantly in short spans of time at Guarantee Health Solutions. So reach out at GuaranteeHealth.com. That's GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, LSU didn't just add a bat last week into their roster on a baseball perspective. They also grabbed an arm. Went to grab Caden Smith, who is a right-hander who worked his way into a starting role at South Florida this past year. He began his career at TCU, where he made 14 appearances. But last year was 4-3, with an ERA of 4.24. He threw 46.2 innings of work, and his best outing of the season came against UAB through 7 shutout innings. But he only completed the 5th inning one other time. In those 46 2/3, he struck out 52, walked 25. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. His fastball's been clocked up to 97 miles an hour. It usually sits closer to 94, 95. I saw a story that Aaron Fitt wrote about him last summer on Cape Cod, where he really liked the high spin rate on the breaking ball from Smith, and obviously the fastball velocity is what it is. I think this screams right-handed reliever to me when you look at arms like, and I don't mean in far impact, but I mean in terms of frame and pitch repertoire. I think of Connor Binge. I think of Grant Fontenot. Fontenot became a high-leverage reliever, and Binge never really became that. But it's a 6'1", 6'2", right-handed, mid-90s fastball, hard slider. Like, that's what Caden Smith has, and that's kind of what you're looking for out of the bullpen. So I think this is a bullpen arm for LSU. I would expect him likely to begin the season as a high-end bullpen arm. He's not completely dissimilar. He's a little bit shorter than Marcos Paz, who is really a two-pitch pitcher. I think Paz probably has a little bit more upside because he's younger and he's a little bit taller and he's coming off Tommy John, and there's just a more projectable frame there. But this is a kid who did a nice job in different roles this past year at South Florida and could come in and help. Now, they've added guys, coincidentally, from that area, like Chandler Dorsey was a guy that came from there that it didn't quite work out in Baton Rouge. Grant Fontenot was like that the first time around before he came back. And so the walk numbers are a little bit higher than I'd like. The strikeout numbers are good. The metrics on the pitches are very good. So this is another ad. They never really went out and found that left-handed arm. And there were a couple that I liked. There was a Michigan left-hander that ended up at Vanderbilt that I thought she had a chance, but you just didn't see that impact guy. I didn't see Gage Jump out there this year. I didn't see, obviously, Liam Doyle out there this year. And those are the guys that I talked to y'all about in April and early May when you were looking at this team and looking at the guys they could potentially lose and looking at what you might want to bring in the portal. And I pointed out a lot of different SEC aces that have come in and just been great pitchers at different places throughout the conference, like Liam Doyle, like Zach Root at Arkansas, like Hurston Waldrop over at Florida. I mean, there's been tons of them. I mean, you've seen them all over the place. And I figured those guys would just be available because they always are. And I think Landon Hood was really, really good, and I know that LSU believes that he was the best pitcher on the market in terms of the transfer portal. And that's one guy. I was hopeful that there would be a lefty ad because when I look at LSU's pitching staff right now, I look at Schmidt, I look at Evans, I look at Landon Hood, I look at Reagan Ricken, I look at those guys, and Paz was included in this before he transferred out, but I look at those guys and I see a bunch of 6'3" right-handers with 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and sliders. Now, look, Evans has a really good changeup, so that's a little bit different. And Ricken's a little bit taller and throws from a little bit different arm slot. And Schmidt comes over the top and has a bigger breaking ball. So, like, it's not like they're all the same, but there are a lot of similarities. And I would just loved a different look here or there. Maybe it's even like a Sunday guy that comes in that is a starter. He's not an SEC ace. He's not a guy that is gonna be a second-round pick like Jump was, but just a guy that can come in and get some outs, be a different look the third day of a series instead of the big arm right-handers who you've been looking at. And I think that's something I would have liked to seen added. And you still could get some left-handed help from your high school class. It's unlikely that Logan Schmidt ends up at LSU, I think. But he's certainly would help. He's left-handed and throws 97 miles an hour. And I'm going to get into the entire signing class later on this week and talk to you about who I think they're going to get, who I think they're really going to sweat, who I think they're not going to get. And last year my information was really good, so I'm confident that it will be again this year. But I think right now, I have not really broken down the high school class with y'all at all because I just don't feel the need when you're talking about the roster, which is what I'm doing right now, talking about those kids until I get to the draft. Because they're just, if there's 8 kids that don't end up at LSU, we've wasted time on talking about 8 players. I'm going to talk about them as a class this week, but not the roster. Because it's like I bet most of you driving around or listening to this cannot name one kid LSU did not get in last year's draft. Like the only name that a lot of y'all would be able to toss out is Connor Griffin. There are more, but that's the one guy that was such a high-profile name that a lot of folks can. Now, maybe a lot of you are junkies about this stuff and do know it, but I'm just talking about the general LSU baseball fan doesn't really know the high school kids until February. So we'll talk about them this week as a class, and then we'll talk about the roster as those guys move forward. But I think that this was a nice add in Caden Davis for LSU, but I think he's a right-handed bullpen piece. That's it for hour number 1 here on this Monday. We got a ton to do in hour 2.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Gotro's Outdoor Power. Gotro's Outdoor Power. I was talking to my guy Gant Gotro earlier this morning. They got some awesome stuff to offer y'all in July. 20% off MSRP for Hustler commercial mowers. 20% off MSRP for Hustler commercial mowers. Also, 0% financing for 48 months is available. So if you're looking for a new zero-turn mower, it's grass growing season, it's grass cutting season, and that's not going to end until after Halloween. If you're looking for that, then get on by Gotro's Outdoor Power. They got 2 locations. Of course, they got the one on Airline in Baton Rouge. You're driving down Airline, you look off to the side, you see that mountain of orange inventory. That's them, Gotro's Outdoor Power. They've also got a great location in Gonzales. Been in business for 22 years. Gotro family owns and operates it, and they are happy to help you out. So get on by and see them for incredible deals on Hustler commercial mowers and 0% financing at Gotro's Outdoor Power.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number 1 product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. World Cup Group of 16 continues today. The U.S. men's national team taking the field against Belgium in Seattle will have their top goal scorer available. Forward Flo Balogun's one-match red card ban suspended by FIFA yesterday. FIFA denying Belgium's appeal today, clearing the path for him to play. Balogun sent off during the round of 32 match against Bosnia-Herzegovina for a foul that wasn't initially given a card on the field but overturned on VAR to be a red card. Tonight's match, 8 Eastern, Portugal and Spain kicking off in Arlington in a few minutes. In the NBA, the Kings are waiving 6-time All-Star DeMar DeRozan, had $10 million of his $25 million salary guaranteed for next season, allowing the Kings some cap flexibility. DeRozan averaged 18 and 4 assists per game last season, while free agent Rui Hachimura has agreed to a 2-year, $28 million deal to sign with the Clippers. Had a strong season, 11.5 points per game on 51% shooting.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Got plenty to finish up with here on this Monday edition. We'll do a little stock up, stock down, vacation style in 30 minutes. Talk some more LSU baseball coming up in 15 minutes. But ESPN had an interesting list. And it's what season it is. It is what it is. Can't change time, and I'm not going to break down USA Belgium for 2 hours. So we'll look at best college football players of all time by jersey number. And I wanted to see where LSU would be represented. I felt comfortable suggesting, and you never know, because I can't tell you who wore number 9 for Yale in 46 when they were a powerhouse. I don't remember what number Tommy Frazier wore. I know who he is. I don't know exactly who was winning the Heisman in 1973 and what number he may have wore, but I figured Joe Burrow had a chance. I figured Glenn Dorsey had a chance to be among the best in their jerseys, if not the number 1 all time. And then I was curious also to see how many I had seen in person. So I went through, and number 9 was, in fact, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow beat out Peter Warrick. He beat out Steve McNair from Alcorn State, beat out Bryce Young. That's a fairly weak number for that high. The best players, the skill players, are going to wear 1 to 19 to 20 to 25 for running backs in college football. I just figured Peter Warrick was great, and Steve McNair is a heck of a player, and Bryce Young won a Heisman. But you look at this list, there are a lot of numbers that were better than that. But Burrow was, in fact, the only LSU Tiger to be named the best of his jersey number from 0 all the way to 99. He was it. But there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LSU Tigers that were close. They also did 3 honorable mentions beneath the number 1. Jamar Chase was honorable mention. He was behind Larry Fitzgerald, who was said to wear number 1 the best out of anyone. Patrick Peterson did receive an honorable mention behind Michael Vick. Tommy Casanova got an honorable mention. He was behind Doak Walker, who was a 3-time All-American and won a Heisman at SMU. So pretty good player. They named the best running back award after him, so I don't have a huge beef with that. Alan Faneca was right there on the list. He was an honorable mention behind Refrigerator Perry, who was a 3-time All-American at Clemson. I did not realize that Refrigerator Perry was a 3-time All-American at Clemson. I never like hear about his college football exploits because he was such a legendary figure on that 85 Bears team and scored that Super Bowl that was so controversial for Walter Payton in that game. But he got the nod. Wendell Davis was named. Leon Hart from Notre Dame, who won the Heisman in the 40s, was said to be a better player to wear the number. And I thought that Glenn Dorsey would be number 72. I just thought he's the most decorated defensive player in LSU history. 72 is a number reserved for defensive linemen and offensive linemen. He's got a chance because you're not going to be dealing with Heisman winners when you're talking about 72. So for him to have won all those defensive awards, I thought he'd have a great chance to win it. He did not win it. He was second to Bronco Nagurski at Minnesota, who was a legend there. That was pre-Heisman days. He played some positions that don't exist anymore, but is a legendary figure in the college game. So Glenn Dorsey was on the list. So Burrow won, but Dorsey, Wendell Davis, Alan Faneca, Tommy Casanova, Patrick Peterson, and Jamar Chase did not make the list of the best to wear their numbers. I was also curious how many I had seen all time, because I've seen a lot of Heisman Trophy winners in person. You go to as many LSU games as I have. Like, I've been to almost every home game since 2005. And the SEC's had a heck of a run of players over the course of that time. And I went to a lot of away games as well. So when I look back at Heisman winners that I've seen in person, obviously Jaden Daniels, seen him in person. Bryce Young, seen him in person. Devontae Smith, Joe Burrow, seen them in person. Derrick Henry, I've seen Johnny Manziel. I've seen Cam Newton. I've seen Mark Ingram. I've seen Tim Tebow. I've seen Troy Smith was not the quarterback of that team. He was the year before that, so I have not seen him. Jason White. So that's 15 Heisman winners that I've seen in person. So I was curious, like, how many guys that were on this list that I would have seen. And actually, it's only 3. It's only Joe Burrow, who was the best number 9 ever. It's Tim Tebow, who was the best 15 ever, and that was a loaded number. And then I've seen Derek McFadden, obviously, in person, but he did not win best ever number 5. Best number 5. Oh, no, he did win. He won best ever number 5, and Burrow won best ever number 9. So it was not as many as I thought that I'd seen in person. That's one of the cool things with going to as many LSU football games as I do is to see those great players. Like, I'll be able to tell my kids some of the ridiculous things that Darren McFadden did on a football field in front of me. Obviously, you go straight to 2007 where they had the triple overtime win here, and he's running wind sprints down the left sideline. But I think about the 2 years before that. In 2006, up in Little Rock, he ran that kickoff back for a touchdown. It was just brutal for LSU to tackle. That was a wild game where Arkansas actually won the West that year, but LSU won that game. And then you look at 2005, and no one will remember this because LSU won the game, but I do, and I think one of the main memories I have of it, it was close in proximity to where I was sitting. I was sitting with my dad, and we were behind the Arkansas bench inside Tiger Stadium, and Arkansas had a third down play. It might have been a fourth down play, but it was certainly a play that could have potentially ended the drive. And this freshman running back, Darren McFadden, is back there. They snap him the ball. He rolls to his left and throws the ball across his body on a dime down the field for a reception and a conversion to the first down. I was like, who is this guy? Well, we figured it out pretty quickly. It turns out he's the best player ever to wear number 5. I'll tell my kids about Tebow, too. I was in college for Tebow. I was there. Tebow is he exactly my age, or is he... Tebow's exactly my age. He was my class because my freshman year, LSU was at Florida, and he threw the jump pass. So he's exactly my age, and I'll remember that. I was up in the highest portions of what's a single bowl there at the Swamp in the student section. But more so about Tebow, I'll remember never thinking he was going to make a mistake, that he was just going to run forward for 5 yards, that he was going to convert all the 4th and 1s, that he was going to make the throw out to Percy Harvin or Jeff Demps or Chris Rainey, that he was never going to make a mistake. And the thing that I remember thinking about Tebow in that moment in 2007, because LSU was down by 2 scores in the second half of that game. And I knew that Tebow wasn't going to make a mistake, and that, to me, made it feel difficult for LSU to get back in the game. But the mistake, and I use air quotes, that he made, he threw a pass that got tipped straight up in the air, and LSU picked it off. And I remember thinking to myself in the student section, like, that's the break we had to have, because that's not really Tebow's fault. LSU made a play on it because he wasn't going to throw a pick. Because if you look back at Tebow's statistics, like, yeah, he churned through a lot of yards and scored a ton of touchdowns, but he wasn't like reckless or careless with the ball either. He was very careful with the ball, and it was a high percentage offense that ran the ball a ton. And like, I just never thought he was going to make a mistake. And that's something that I don't often hear people talk about Tebow with, but I just felt that way all the time watching him in person. I was at all 4 games that he played, and I'll, of course, always remember him coming back as a senior post-concussion and thinking that, you know, he couldn't possibly go out there and be the battering ram that he wanted to be coming off that concussion that he suffered at Kentucky, and he wasn't. And Urban Meyer pulled the reins back, and they didn't do anything on offense because LSU had no chance to score on that defense in 2009. No chance. That was when LSU was really fighting it with quarterback play. They had turned the reins over to Jefferson, who was a sophomore, and that Florida defense, those Florida defenses were just absolutely loaded, and LSU just couldn't do anything. And Tebow made one pass down the right sideline to Riley Cooper, I think, and that was the end of that game. I think Florida won at 10-0, maybe 10-3, but Tebow didn't make a mistake, and that's what I will always think about him. But I'm disappointed that on the entire list of guys that were the best to wear their uniform, those are the only 2 guys to see in person, because I certainly saw some terrifying dudes, and I realized that he wouldn't be the best to wear the number. I'll check and see who was. Derrick Henry scared me as much as sorry, not Derrick Henry. Trent Richardson scared me as much as anybody when he was in the backfield with those Saban teams. Now LSU corralled him for 7 quarters in 2011 when they had to, and he busted free for the touchdown that I actually was in the elevator for, heading down from the press box, so I didn't even see it live. But the best threes ever were Carson Palmer, Joe Montana, Keyshawn Johnson, and Todd Gurley. Man, Trent Richardson was a bad dude. I know it didn't work in the NFL, but he was as scary a player as I remember dealing with. And not that I was dealing with him on the field, but like I remember being in the stands and watching. I thought Trent Richardson was a freak of nature. But it's just a fun list for this time of year. The top 100 players to wear the 100 numbers in college football, so you can go check that out if you'd like. LSU well represented beyond Burrow, but he's the only one that actually stands alone holding that number. So we'll switch back to baseball. LSU got a high schooler to pull out of the draft last week. It's good news. Next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. You say redesign and remodel, that makes you feel, when I say that it's out of preference. I just like this to look fresh. And if that's the case for you, great. David Duvall's happy to come in and handle that. But he was talking to me 2 weeks ago when we sat down at breakfast, and he was saying, look, oftentimes people see a crack in their tub, they see a crack in their shower, and they don't consider it a big deal. And then time goes by, and you don't realize what's happening, and then you've got a major repair work on your hands because water gets places, it's got to go somewhere, and it causes significant damage. Down here in Louisiana, it's hot, dark places. You're talking mold, significant issues. It can get into walls, into ceilings. It can really, really drive up the price of a repair if not taken seriously. So if you see an imperfection, if you see something that doesn't look right in your shower or in your tub, just call One Bath and Closets and have them come out and look for it to make sure that you don't have a significant issue. That's what he's told me to relay to you. And it makes all the sense in the world. Don't wait just because it looks minor to you. Let the experts come in and take a look. It's One Bath and Closets. Find them online at onebathandclosets.com.
At Parrish, we're built for tough players and tough roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Parrish brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishGroup.com. The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Let's talk about friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at fabrychevrolet.com. It's such a great website. It's so versatile. It's so user-friendly. It allows you to search the entire inventory of Fabry Chevrolet GMC. If you're looking for new cars, filter by new cars. Looking for pre-owned cars, filter by pre-owned cars. You're looking for pre-owned by mileage, you can filter by mileage. You're looking by price, filter by price. You're looking for an SUV, different body types, you can do that as well. It's so user-friendly, so you can get a sense of what they have, and then you can start to dig down on the details of those that fit your criteria. And then you can go see them, and you'll get that unbelievable buying experience that you really want when you're buying a vehicle. Fabry Chevrolet GMC does it because the Fabry family's done that for 35 years. Make that short drive to St. Francisville. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Just a quick drive from Baton Rouge for a great deal, wonderful buying experience, and great service after the sale. If you're looking for an SUV, they've got you covered. Brand new truck, they can do that for you as well. Pre-owned vehicles, they've got them in stock at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Start your buying process online at fabrychevrolet.com. All right, big news for LSU last week when I was out, and we're going to kind of hit those over the course of today's 2-hour show. They got another high schooler to pull his name out of the draft. They've had some success with this over the years. Stephen Milam kind of started the trend 3 years ago. Then you saw some guys follow up with that. And you saw Derek Curiel pull his name out of the draft. You saw Omar Cerna pull his name out of the draft. And you sense the impact that those guys had as freshman players. They all became starters. Now, I think this one will have a tougher time breaking through the lineup based on what LSU's got coming in the transfer portal. But Nate Davis, is a heck of a player. This is a guy who, in a similar way to Derek Curiel, was a famous young high schooler. He was a top 10 player in his class very quickly in the high school ranks. There are guys that just develop at different speeds. And because of Davis's natural athleticism, he just caught a lot of evaluators' eyes early in his prep playing days. He's based out of Orlando, and he's grown now. He's 6 feet tall, 180 pounds or so, but he never got to be, some sort of 6'3" physical freak. Like Connor Griffin's a great athlete, and then he grew to be tall, and then all of a sudden you've got this huge guy. And now Derek Curriell on the other side, he grew to be 6'2", but he's just kind of a thin frame. He's kind of still a thin frame 2 years into college. And Nathaniel Davis just didn't become a huge guy. And honestly, this is a college baseball program who goes after elite players, draftable players. They're going to have a flaw. If they don't have a significant flaw, they're hard to get to campus. You need your pitcher to be 2 inches too short or maybe a little bit of command problems. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but I'm just telling you the truth, Tommy John. Like Cade Anderson had Tommy John surgery. He just probably wouldn't have come to college. But same way Alex Bregman broke his hand when he was a senior. And if he doesn't, and he hits like he had been hitting, he was probably a first-round pick. And I don't know that Nate Davis's size is a flaw. He's 6 feet tall and 180 pounds, and he's not even enrolled as a freshman yet. But he's not 6'3". And he doesn't right now hit for a ton of power. What you've got in Nate Davis is a very, very, very good athlete. One of the better runners in his entire high school class amongst the elite prospects. He has gone to showcases and finished in the top 2 running. And that's the kind of athlete that you're going to get. He's a left-handed thrower. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got a good arm. He's been a really good hitter at times in his young career. I saw and read that he was the MVP at a Perfect Game World Series in the 16 unders, where he hit 500 and was 6 for 6 in steals. The next year at the 16U WWBA, he hit 440. He's played against high-level, showcase-level players. He's always hit, and he's a really, really good athlete. This projects as the center fielder of the future. Now, look, you got Bino Waters, a third-year player and potential first-round pick in left field. You just went and got a really, really talented second-year player from Oregon to play right field. Jason Wax has hit for 2 years at the college level. You've got William Patrick returning. It's a crowded outfield to consider Nate Davis a slam dunk to be a starter. Now look, 2 years ago, as a freshman, Derek Curriell was coming into an outfield that had Jake Brown coming back, that had Chris Stanfield, who had started in the SEC, coming in, that had Josh Pearson. There wasn't immediate room for him, and then he came out and was the best hitter on the team in the fall. That's what it takes. That's what you have to do. And if Nate Davis wants to play early on, he's going to have to compete. He's going to have to show up against a big physical pitching staff of 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and hit like crazy. But he's a third-year player. He's not a draft-eligible sophomore. And he's a guy who's obviously prioritizing the college experience based on what Jay Johnson and his staff have told him about what they can do with his skill set, because it's a very, very exciting one. And when you develop players like Derek Curriell, it attracts great players behind them. And Nate Davis is a similar profile to Derek Curriell. He's a better runner. He's not as great a bat-to-ball player, but he's a projectable, high-round talent who's been a famous prospect that's a left-handed hitter, that's a good athlete in the outfield, that right now doesn't hit for a ton of power. And that's the profile that you can get to campus. If they're 6'3" and already hitting for power, forget it. It's not going to happen. But that's not the case with Nate Davis right now. So this is a very, very good thing. Again, he joins some good company in Stephen Milam, in Derek Curriell, in Omar Cerna, who said, hey, I'm going to college, don't draft me. And that's now 2 in this class that LSU has gotten to do that. And Braxton Beatty, left-handed pitcher from Texas, and Nate Davis, a left-handed hitting outfielder from Orlando. in the process of this, another member of LSU signing class made a decision that he's not going to LSU. He's going to UCLA, maybe. It's C.J. Weinstein, who is a projectable left-handed hitting infielder who's 6'2", 6'3", has also been a pretty famous high school prep player in the state of California. He's from Newport Beach, and he decided he was going to go to UCLA or go into the draft. He's a very much a draft risk this year. And I don't have inside information on this. I am going to check. I was out last week, y'all. I wasn't going to make a ton of phone calls while I was out running around with two kids on the beach. But it's a crowded infield. And Stephen Milam's back, and they went and got Dawson Park, and they went and got Cade Curlin, and they've already got Jack Ruckert, and they've already got John Pearson. You start to look at that, and C.J. Weinstein is a draft-eligible sophomore, so for him to come in and not play a year, which is a possibility if you show up here, that's not good for your draft status. Like, you can obviously break out as a sophomore, go nuts, but scouts would like to see you for 2 years, and he would kind of be off the radar for a year, and that's a tough thing to do. I don't know the entirety of UCLA's infield, but I do know that Rock Shalowski at shortstop is leaving, and I do know that that Easton Martin is also leaving, who was a second baseman and a third baseman for him. So you're looking at two spots that are definitely coming open at UCLA. That's a better place, which is right down the street from his house, for him to get on the field very, very quickly if he does end up in college. So would LSU like to have C.J. Weinstein in this class? I don't think there's any doubt, because he's a very, very projectable infielder that's a left-handed hitter that can really play. But does it severely compromise next year's team in 2027? It does not. It's just a situation where I think he saw an infield crowding and saw an opportunity in another infield that was having that whole class of players that were so good for the last 3 years moving out, and there's just more room. And by the way, it's right down the street from Newport Beach. So Nathaniel Davis deciding he's going to come to LSU and bailing on the MLB draft is a really, really good thing. C.J. Weinstein, you'd love to have him in Baton Rouge, but he decided it was best for him to make another decision, and that's what he has done. So we'll talk about the rest of LSU's signing class probably on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. The draft is on Friday and Saturday, or maybe Saturday and Sunday. I'll have to check. It's this weekend. It's a different days of the week, but they're going to do it up there in Philly, All-Star Weekend and whatnot. So I will get as much intel as I possibly can on LSU's high school signing class, and we'll dive into that a little bit later on this week. But the decisions that have been made, Nate Davis and C.J. Weinstein, Braxton Beatty, we'll get you those right now. You can read about all those players at LouisianaSports.net. All right, we'll take a time out. When we come back, let's do some stock up, stock down on my week last week. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com. Jonathan Carbo and his team are really, really, really good with benefits. I was talking to Jonathan earlier today, and they have had some success on the benefits side because rates are rising at such an amazing clip. There are people that are desperate for some relief there. And I tell you all the time, Highland Insurance Group can't guarantee you that they can beat your renewal, but they can offer another option. So if you're looking to make sure your employees have got the right health care, right, got the right dental, have got the right vision or taken care of, so you can keep them around, keep them happy with their benefits package, and you don't feel like your benefits are the right price, go to the Highland Insurance Group. Let them get a second option for you. They're an independent broker. They've got options, and they may be able to help you with a little bit of relief financially to help your business's bottom line and to keep that talent in-house. It's Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Highland Insurance Group. If you're hearing what I'm saying and going, yeah, I need to look into that, check them out at HighlandIG.com. It's the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at HighlandIG.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
The Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office protects and serves over 132,000 residents across the parish.
Keeping our community safe is our mission, and Rev Fiber plays a critical role in how we respond. Whether it's training in our special divisions, forensics investigations, or fielding emergency calls in our operations center, Rev Business connects our teams in real time, which is why we partner with Rev Business.
Get 6 months free of Rev Business services. Call or click today.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
It's good to be back. I know I was talking to my wife last night, and she was a little apprehensive about going back to work after a week off. I'm lucky in the sense that I enjoy the content of my job. I think that allows me to reintegrate back a little easier. This is not my favorite time of the year to do the job, but it's just not that hard for me to get up this morning and write a story about LSU's defensive ends, and then to come in and write a story about SEC Media Days, and then talk about LSU baseball for a couple hours. Like I can handle that.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, it's good to be back. So last week, obviously at the beach, it was me, my wife, and our two kids, 15 months and 4.5, and then my sister, brother-in-law, and their two kids, 7 and 4. And this is not a segment about my family's beach trip. I just know that a lot of people go to the beach and can relate with what we're talking about here. Maybe a tip or two or a suggestion or thought you might not have had based on our suggestions. We'll do a little stock up, stock down from the Palmer family beach trip here. Stock up, way up on 4 and 7-year-olds at the beach. They just had a blast. We went crabbing every night.
Oh, wow. You had a good time, man.
Well, we went crabbing every night. The first night I saw 2 of them. Now, they got away really quickly, but we did not see one the rest of the time, and they still could not have wanted to go worse. But Myers was just begging for it to get dark so he could go out and crabbing when he didn't see a crab at any point. But they had a blast doing that. Loved getting in the water, loved the sand, loved snacks on the beach, like the whole thing. They loved it. Stock down, 15-month-old at the beach. My man Keller had some moments where he would sit in the little kiddie pool, had a couple moments where he sat in the sand, had a couple of moments where he sat at the tide. But we couldn't crack the code on him. If he wasn't napping on somebody's chest, he probably wasn't thrilled. It just did not. He was okay. It wasn't a nightmare, and there were 6 adults that had the ability to kind of pass him here and there.
It takes a village.
You take him up, and you got an army of 6 adults.
Yeah,
Somebody's got to take one for the team. I let him nap on me for an hour and a half one day. His mom did that a few times.
Yeah,
but
pass him around.
4 and 7-year-olds were great. The 15-month-old, we didn't quite crack that code. So we'll try again next year.
Man, I thought he had a good time because all the other kids had a good time.
He had a good time at other places, but the beach was not his favorite. Stock up for those that want to go play golf at the beach. We went to Destin. We played Kelly Plantation. We played Regatta Bay. We played Windswept Dunes, which is about a 40-minute drive. All the courses were in great shape. I loved it. I have played those courses multiple times, but I have found them to be not in great shape a couple times, including last year, Windswept Dunes. But we did play. If you got a beach trip coming up in the next couple of weeks, month or so, and you want to play a round of golf, Kelly Plantation, Regatta Bay, and Windswept Dunes were all in fantastic shape. Me and my dad had a great time out there. Stock down, never seen this. The jellyfish situation.
Oh, yeah.
It was a problem. And now it was only 2 days. We had a week, and there was only 2 days. But I am aware of jellyfish in the ocean. I'm aware of people getting stung by jellyfish. I have seen jellyfish. Like, I'm aware of the situation. I've been going to the beach since I was 4. I have not seen this before. This was tens of millions of dime-sized jellyfish with tiny little red tentacles that did not sting you painfully. But if you got in the water and stood there for 5 minutes, you would start to feel itchy, and then when you got out, it was a problem.
Okay.
It was a problem for adults, like, this is not comfortable. Like, I feel like I got bit by a bunch of ants. For a 7-year-old, my niece, she thought she was going to die.
Yeah.
And for a 4-year-old, Myers, he did not like itching. We had to strip him down. We had a towel over him. Like, he was miserable when he went in. And so for 2 days, we couldn't really get in the water. It was gone by the end of the trip. So if you're, like, going tomorrow, I wouldn't sweat it. But, like, I've never seen that. I've never, like, and you could walk out. You could not see them from the house or you could not see them from the shore.
Oh, when we got
But
close.
if you got in and just looked down, they're just everywhere. And not like, oh, there's one over there. There's one, like, everywhere.
It must have been like a breeding season or something.
I don't know what the deal was, but they were gone for the last couple of days, which was good. Stock up my kids' behavior in the car. The tablet is a key with the headphones for the 4-year-old, and then Keller slept pretty much the whole time.
Okay.
Which was good.
Great vibes.
Stock down. I don't like long drives. I don't like doing it. I know people that have that hate flying and hate being in airports and that whole deal.
Devin.
I don't care. Like, an airport to me is a sports bar. There's televisions in there. There's internet in there. There's beer in there. There's food in there. Plane, give me a beer. I'll listen to some podcasts. Like, I'm fine with that. Getting on the road and driving, like, our drive was only 5.5 hours. Not that bad. The people that load up and drive to national parks, like, my buddy drove from the North Shore to Wyoming last week.
Excuse me?
People that drive, like, California, even y'all that drive to Omaha, like, I did it one time. It's just not for me. I get it, and I don't travel very much. Like, I'm not saying, oh, well, I just fly everywhere. I'm going to fly twice this year. I'm flying once to SEC Media Days, and I flew once earlier this year for something, and I can't remember what it was. But I flew for work. Like, I don't fly either, but I don't mind air transportation. The process of sitting behind the wheel and just going is just not. I don't like it. I had to give the wheel up for Alyssa on the way back. I was like, you got to handle the last 2 hours. I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
And I know a bunch of people are like, oh, I don't mind big drives. Just put some song. I can't. I'm just out on long car rides.
Is there a certain hour limit? So anything past 4.5?
I think this is it. I have made the Shreveport to Baton Rouge drive so many times in my life. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But once you extend beyond that, it's like I'm not driving to Atlanta. I'm just not.
Yeah, that's 7.
I just don't want to do that. And so I'm sure I will at one point, but I just don't want to do that. That's a personal deal. Stock up. We got a lily pad, this big floating rectangle that goes out there.
Okay.
Huge hit. Kids loved it. They can jump off and play with it. People have them in the lakes and stuff too. Alyssa liked to just lay on it and hang out. It actually was a nice reprieve. If you wanted to get in the water during the jellyfish days, you could get up there. It wasn't as bad. You still got on your legs, but like lily pads, huge stock up. Stock down, here's a big problem. This was the biggest error of the vacation for a long shot. My dad and mom, they stayed with us the night before, and they have a bigger car. They took my cornhole set to Destin to play with on the beach. Myers likes to play whatever. They left at 7 a.m. on our leaving day, and we slept in a little bit because we didn't have to drive all the way to Shreveport. I realized pretty quickly loading the car, we don't got room for that. We don't have room for it. We can't. So we just left it. Like I left this like big wooden LSU painted beanbags corner. I had no other option. I got pack and play that the kid sleeps in. I got 4 suitcases. I got
the kids behind.
I mean, the cornhole set got left. So of the toy situation, the lily pad, big hit. My cornhole set that I've had for 12 years.
Oh no,
I just left it. I don't know. I'm assuming the next guest at our place threw it out, but it was just right outside. I didn't like leave a note or anything. It's like I can't. This is not going to fit in the car. The car was full, and these cornhole things are big.
I know they're big. Yeah.
The cornhole thing is 3 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah,
like
Pop's
it's
got to
big.
see me about that one.
And our car just wasn't.
Who was
big
the
enough.
idea to bring it?
Me.
Okay. If it was his idea to be like, hey,
no. We would have realized it if I had packed it in my car on the way from Baton Rouge to Destin. I would have realized quickly we don't have room to get this back. Or I could have made my dad take it back and then stop in Baton Rouge and drop it off, which would have been fine too. Neither one of those happened. We just realized when I was going to pack the car and Alyssa's dealing with all the baby stuff upstairs, and I look at this and I go, well, this is not going to get back in the car. So before you take something sizable, and there's multiple cars going, make sure you can come back in another car, because that cornhole set, it lived a great life. I believe I got it in 2015. It made it through a couple of tailgates. It made it through a lot of St. Patrick's Day parades. Made it through a lot of beach trips, and it met its final place. But I do have a sense that it's possible, because Myers was pretty upset about the cornhole set being left behind, even though he doesn't really play with it a lot. I got a sense that might be something Santa Claus looks into down the road. Just a thought in my head.
If he's listening right now.
Yeah, just potentially, Santa, if you want to take a look at that, we might be able to get back in the cornhole business come December for either his birthday, which is the 27th of December, or Christmas on the 25th. So good week at the beach for the Palmers. Some adjustments can be made in the future. I think Keller's going to age out of this for next year's beach trip. Another thing that I'll mention, they have this guy that carries this ice chest with huge wheels on the hard part of the sand and sells ice cream.
Okay.
Would you like to guess what the cost is of one popsicle ice cream bar out of the rolling beachfront ice chests?
Well, in this day and age, everything's expensive. I'm assuming just one.
$3. Oh, buddy.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, Lord.
You're not even close.
What? Oh, okay. Let me come back.
You're not even close.
6?
You're not there.
No way. It's more than $6. It's for one.
$10.
$10 for one popsicle.
$10 for one popsicle.
I would have told him, hit the road, Jack. Are you kidding me?
It was a one-day investment.
We
headed to the grocery store and got some more popsicles. It was a thrill for the kids to see the rolling ice cream truck. There's only 3 of them. We splurged for the 30, but we were like, that's probably it on the the roving ice cream.
I feel crazy. I said $3. Like, yeah, man.
Look,
like,
man, it's inflationary times, and when you're inflationary on the beach and you're trapped and you got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old to see an ice cream guy walking right in front of them, there's very little you can do there, especially it's 100 degrees outside.
I can't say nothing because you're in Florida. That's the same tactics they use at Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
That's the exact same stuff they do at Disney World. $7, $8 waters. It's 1,000 degrees.
I told you. Well, this has nothing to do with it's hot outside, but we got the foam finger for $15 the other day on LSU's campus.
Oh man,
it's made out of foam. And you can't even do anything with it.
$15. $15, man.
You should get some kids, Jordan. They're
no,
great.
Hey, listen, Lord, if you're hearing this, not right now. Just give me 5 years. Just give me 5 years. We'll figure all that out. 5 years.
Come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Always, always, always my pleasure to remind you about my friends over at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Check them out online at boudreauxelectrical.com. Neil and Melissa have been running the show at Boudreaux's Electrical for 40 years. It's storm season, y'all. You know it. That weather yesterday was nasty. I know a lot of y'all lost power. Maybe that's what gets you over the edge to get that Generac home standby generator. You're just sick of those afternoon thunderstorms that blow through. And it's not that you're going to lose power for a week. You lost power maybe for 3 hours. That's a miserable 3 hours. The folks at Boudreaux's Electrical Services can get you that Generac home standby generator that you need to keep you protected from those power outages. And the best thing is they're local, so they'll monitor it as well. They'll make sure you are taken care of, that if there's a mechanical issue, you've got a local team that can go out and do the repair work and make sure that it's ready to go at the time that you need it most. Give them a call at 985-397-1562. That's 985-397-1562. Or the Gonzales location, 225-393-89. That's Boudreaux's Electrical Services.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So,
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Guarantee Health Solutions brings you our Monday shows each and every week. They're guiding healthcare forward over at Guarantee Health Solutions. Check them out online at GuaranteeHealth.com. That's GuaranteeHealth.com. Rachel Fricky and her team just do awesome work with the healthcare system. They've done such an awesome job in such a short time, and it's because word of mouth is spreading, that people in the healthcare system know just what they can do for you at Guarantee Health Solutions. They bring the hospitality aspect to the healthcare system. They can look at it and say what that patient experience should look like. They can train your staff to make sure that your patients are being properly taken care of, not just in the room, in the waiting room, when they leave, when they access your website online. Do you know how to handle digital marketing? It's a big, big deal in every industry, but in healthcare as well. Are you optimizing what you do from that perspective? Guarantee Health Solutions can absolutely help you with that. They've done it with dozens and dozens of partners throughout the years. It doesn't have to be here in Louisiana. They can help you out nationwide. It's Guarantee Health Solutions. They're online at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. BayouFord.com. Got one of the Bayou Ford chats said Hunt needs a chauffeur. Just sit there and drink Bud Lights. Look, if I had a driver in a big car, like, sure, but like, I'm the father, the two young kids, and like, I'm gonna do most of the driving. I told you I asked Alyssa to help, and she obliged. She got us home, but like, that's not how it's usually gonna work, and I'm certainly not gonna be able to get a driver. So yeah, I like the pilot to do that work if we're honestly being serious about it, and let's just get this thing over with as quickly as possible. Like I said, like, I flew. If you're talking about like bad travel days for people, on the way home from Omaha in 2023, because it was chaos trying to get out of there and I had not booked in advance, you realize that there are tens of thousands of people leaving at one point trying to come back to the same place, and not everybody can fly to New Orleans and Houston. So I did an Omaha to LaGuardia, New York, to Dulles in D.C., then to New Orleans. And people hear that and they're like, oh, that's a terrible day. Not really. Like, I got up, flew to LaGuardia, ate lunch, waited for an hour, listened to an LSU baseball podcast, match show or something, flew to Dulles, drank a beer, watched PTI or something, flew to New Orleans, and got like it just. But that's stress-free to me. Just sitting on an airplane, going through my phone and listening to a podcast and having a beer in the airport. Like, it's stressful to sit there and lock your hands on the wheel and stare at the road for 5 hours straight. I just don't want to do that. But that is certainly not a right and wrong proposition. It is a personal preference. I just don't like the energy that it takes to drive. I would rather someone else do it. So yeah, if you got a driver that'll do it for free and put me in the back seat, I'm all in.
Tell me this, huh? How was your coming back towards Mobile in Alabama? Because that sucked.
Back was easy. On the way there, it got a little bit.
I hate
got a little
Alabama.
bit stop and go.
It's terrible. And keep in mind, I was driving my grandpa's truck when I went to Panama City a couple weeks back. Our air literally goes out while we're stuck in Mobile. In that right when you're on the bridge going through Mobile, getting to the city, air goes out. We're sitting on there. I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me right now.
That's not good.
Miserable, Hunt. Miserable.
That's a sad day. Take it or leave it.
Let's go.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, so another day, another scandal in college sports. So former Kentucky basketball player Kerr Kriisa has been arrested and indicted on a $2.2 million fraud scheme, the Department of Justice announced on Monday. Kriisa, a 6'3" guard from Estonia, played at Kentucky, Arizona, West Virginia, and Cincinnati over 6 seasons, allegedly carrying out a scheme to obtain nearly, like I said, $2 million from victims having false representations as his mother had cancer. She didn't have cancer, and he was allegedly running a 4-year scheme, calling victims, pretending to be his mother, that she needed treatment, money for this and whatnot. So, Kriisa, college sports scandals getting out of hand now. Take it or leave it.
I mean, I'll take it, but I'll say this. Assuming no one's got cancer.
No cancer, no.
We got a financial problem here as we think about it. But when I hear that story, I'm impressed that he could pull that off.
Yeah, for
I'm impressed you could get $2 million without a sick mom.
Yeah, and also because, like I said, he was pretending to be her, so he was doing this for 4+ years, pretending to be his mother with cancer.
It's psychotic behavior, and certainly should involve a lot of prison time. But I'm impressed that you could get that much money out of people without a sick mom.
For that long, too. For that long. Yeah. So the Washington Wizards now have 23% of active first-round picks on their roster, as they just drafted AJ DeBansa, Anthony Davis, and recently picking up DeAndre Ayton from the Lakers, getting traded there. So are the Wizards making noise with all these #1 picks? Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave it. There's people in, like, PFT commenter, who's a D.C. area guy.
PFT?
Seemed to be pretty excited about it. He got Wizards season tickets, apparently, for this year. But I mean, how many games is Anthony Davis going to play? Like 14?
Maybe 12, honestly.
I mean, DeAndre, did you say Ayton?
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton for the Lakers last year. He got traded there for pennies and a couple of Kool-Aids.
It doesn't sound like a great team to me. It sounds like a team that might sell a lot of jerseys in the D.C. area in November.
They need a rebrand real bad, too, if we're talking about the Wizards jerseys. But, I mean, look, Trae Young and a bunch of AJ, we'll see. I highly doubt.
Trae Young can still play.
Yeah, I highly doubt the Wizards are going to make any noise. But it's kind of cool, though, having all these #1 picks, and we'll see if there's any type of luck behind that. So, Waffle House locations in the United States, 2,000
Let's see where this is going.
2,000 Waffle Houses in the United States. And in Belgium, 0. So is America the real waffle king of the world? Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave it.
What?
I know everyone hates this take. Waffle House serves its purpose wonderfully.
Yeah.
When people suggest it's some sort of culinary revolution, it's where I have to draw the line. No.
The people here?
Hester's like, this is incredible. It's fine for what it is. I can do a frozen waffle and scramble eggs at home that's better than Waffle House. However, I'm not going to turn down Waffle House because I love breakfast food. But I'm not swearing by Waffle House. There are a few restaurants in the fast food hierarchy here in America that I'm just not willing to defend with all my honor.
But
Chick-fil-A, Waffle House. What'd you just say?
No, but I'm saying, but there's 0 in Belgium. How are you guys the waffle guys?
Because Waffle House doesn't have very good waffles.
Oh, man.
They're fine. They're like this thin.
Hey, see, it's all about the time you're getting. You know, Waffle House is a lot better.
I want one of those big, fluffy waffles.
Oh, see, look, yeah, this Waffle House, baby, we ain't got that.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be drunk.
It serves its purpose.
Yeah.
It's just not that good.
It's drunk eats.
Oh, my God.
You need a little drunk eats. So that's it.
This show went off the rails.
Well, we love it. It's Monday.
It's Monday. Let's go off the rails on Friday. We're starting the week off the rails because we honestly, we just have to get through the next 2 weeks. That's it. But we did a lot today. Talked a lot of baseball. Talked a little bit of football as well. You can go back and check that out on demand. Just search the Hunt Palmer Show. All right, that's it for us here on this Monday. Back in the saddle. Glad to be here. Matt is out this week. He is at the beach. Hopefully no jellyfish. Moose Show will drive you home. That's coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
I just can't seem to find my live read sheet, but there it is. Lifetime Roofing is the final live read that we have not done, so we'll do it right now. They're online at lifetimeroofingla.com, lifetimeroofingla.com. Remember, I talk you all the time about Lifetime Roofing and their ability to help you with your roof, whether that's a new roof or that's a repair and inspection on your roof. But what they also do is professional installation of gutters. They do professional installation of siding. They do professional installation of windows. Whatever it is in your exterior of your home, you can have Lifetime Roofing take a look. And they're thrilled to be able to offer 0% financing for up to 18 months. And they're obviously over the moon to allow you to get a lifetime workmanship warranty. The materials are backed by Certainty. That's one of the oldest and most trusted names in building materials. So find them online at lifetimeroofingla.com. It's Lifetime Roofing. You can find them right there online at lifetimeroofingla.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all.